So bullying is actually a form of abuse. Do you understand? So, and it happens everywhere, everywhere. Even when you're trying to board the bus or somewhere, you're trying to buy something, and the person you're buying from, maybe you don't have enough money, would want to bully you and all of that. So it's more of like an act where person tends to enforce their power over another person. So there's this imbalance of power when someone is trying to show you, I'm in charge. Do you understand? So it's deliberate. Bullying is deliberate. When they tell you, I didn't know when I said it's a lie, they know, they have the feeling and they do it purposefully. And it can be very hurtful. Do you understand? Because we are humans and we have emotions and we are guided by emotions. I know you can't cane me, but the things you say would hurt me and it will affect my mental state at that moment. So most times, employees are most persons who bully, they are driven by a desire to control. They want to be in charge. They forget that we spend most of our lives at work than our families at home. So we should see our colleagues as brothers and sisters and not just friends. Because what's a community? People coming together with one vision and one goal and trying to achieve something. The same thing applies in an organization. Everybody coming together with one vision and one goal, and we're all trying to achieve something. And if I'm placed in an uncomfortable position, I might not be able to achieve what we are trying to do as an organization. Do you understand? Because at that point in time, I'll be thinking if I'm supposed to be here. So bullying can exist at any level of an organization. So bullying most times is always from managers and supervisors to subordinates. Do you get? Even amongst colleagues, we still experience bullying. Do you get? I've seen where colleagues want to make other colleagues feel less of themselves. Do you understand? Because they've been there for a while and you're just coming in and it's expected to place you under the umbrella to make you understand how to be better at work. But because they've been there over the time, they just want to make you feel like, yeah, I'm here and you're just coming to join us. So I can treat you the way I want to after you're a rookie. So workplace bullying can be considered as a negative act towards employees, and it includes intimidating employees or demeaning their work or standards, not giving them credit. Do you get? You always want to set them up for failures. When there are meetings, you tend to talk to them the way they ought not to be spoken to. You understand? You always want to remind them of old mistakes every time. You get? So, and when you continue like this, you tend to threaten their self-esteem. They become less of themselves. They don't trust that they know what they are doing. They don't understand what they want to do, even if they have the intention of doing the right thing. There's always this belief like, am I doing the right thing? Do you get? So when it continues like this, you see that same person not wanting to interacting with others. They want to be left alone and depression sets in. And the next thing they're thinking of is their exit plan. So problem of bullying is most times it's always personalized. When you're bullied, it's always personalized. Like your supervisor might just want to take up on you. He's nice to every other person, but you see that he's different whenever he's engaging you, interacting with you. It affects business sustainability at that point in time. Because believe you or not, me or not, person you are bullying has a role they play in that organization. Do you get? And nobody is useless. Everybody is useful. So if you center and you make one person feel less of themselves, so it also affects the job. You understand? So it affects emotional and physical well-being. It affects self-confidence, and most times it relates to abuse of power. Provide training to create awareness. And the thing is, most persons, I was watching a video on this guy that created Apple. Steve Jobs. So what he said was, most managers, they understand the job, they are trained on the job before they became managers. And the reasons why they were placed as managers is because they've had experience on the job, but they don't have experience in managing people, but they understand the job and how it's to be done. And he said managers are also supposed to be trained on people and how to drive visions in an organization. So it's not necessarily you getting to know the job, but you getting to understand people. Do you understand? Because um, I met you, you are a human, you are somebody. My colleagues are people, my neighbors are people, everybody at work, the cleaner, the janitors, everybody are all people. You understand? So if I don't understand people, then I'm not ready for business. You get? So persons who are managers or supervisors ought to be trained to make them understand how to engage and manage people properly. Then how workplace bullying can be prevented? So we have to learn to treat others with respect. We have to learn to treat others with courtesy. We have to learn to treat others with fairness. Do you understand? Then we also have to be self-aware of our own behavior, because attitude is contagious. Do you understand? If I'm a supervisor and I talk to everybody with courtesy, I treat everyone with respect, every other person in the workplace would also want to do the same. Because if they don't, they would seem to be different from from their expectation in that environment. So the environment is supposed to be guided by the supervisor. You understand? Because he determines how business should run. So his attitude also matters. I've seen where some persons talk to people and I'm asking why. They say go and ask his boss. That's how he talks. Do you understand? So benefit of addressing workplace bullying, it creates a culture of caring. Everybody tends to care for each other. It removes fear from work. Like you come to work, you can be happy because you feel and you know that persons you are working with want the best for you. You get, aside the job. In my place of work, I try to remind everybody that before we got this job, we were humans. So let's treat each other as humans. Do you understand? So I see no reason why, if I have you as a colleague and I sense you don't seem okay, I see no reason why I shouldn't come to you and check up on you to see how you can be better. Do you understand? Now, bullying will thrive in an environment that tolerates it. And one thing you should understand, that you see all these guys that bully a lot in the workplace, if you check on them, they are suffering. They are going through a lot. And they just want to look for a means to, I don't know, do I say take it out or something? Do you understand? And they most times they have this fear of the unknown. So because they are under pressure and they have this fear that they would lose their job, they tend to take it out on colleagues. Do you understand? Or subordinates. Do you get? And most times I found myself, I once find myself in a very toxic environment, and I was made to understand. I read the book one time that said, if your boss can manage you, you learn to manage your boss. So I gradually understood his weakness. Yes, I have to. So instead of him to understand as a fellow colleague, instead of my supervisor to understand my strength and weakness and know how to deal with me, I now have to understand his strength and his own weakness. I know how to deal with him. So when he portrays certain characters, I know how to act and how to also manage his emotions at that point in time. Do you understand? But not everybody is emotionally intelligent in the workplace. So, way out of bullying, I tried this one. Every other person can try it too. It's basically you having a one-on-one engagement. Calmly make them understand the effect of their behavior. Do you understand? On you. Your feedback might actually make them change. But also try to find the right time to express yourself. You should know when he's in the mood to talk. Do you understand? Don't just walk into your boss when you know he's going through his meals and he's squeezing his face and saying, "Sir, there's something I want to tell you. I don't like the way you spoke to me yesterday." Blah 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 blah. Blah. No, 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 that won't work. Then if you've had a one-on-one engagement and it's not helping, then you can now switch unit or teams. So if it's a large corporate organization, you can easily switch unit. But if it's like the ones we experienced over the week when people were talking about tech cabals, where it's not a large corporate organization, it's just an organization where they have the founders dealing with them directly. There's no way you can switch unit or switch teams because you're dealing with the same person. So such instances, for the sake of your mental health, which is very necessary, which is key, you might end up leaving, like resigning, because the mental health is very, 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 very important. You know, I've been at a position where at times I wake up by 2, 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about work the next morning. I don't think it's something that I would like to experience anymore.
Thank you very much, sir. So before we round off for today, do you have any final words for us, like take home?
Okay, the final words that I have is wherever you find yourself, try to see how you can be of change. Do you understand? When you wake up in the morning and you leave your house, think of what you can do for the person next to you. So you've not truly served, or you won't really find fulfillment if you don't support or help the next person. So the only time you really find fulfillment is knowing that I can be of help to you and I'm expecting nothing in return. So when you go out there, think of how you can support, how you can help. So if you have that mindset, you would realize that people around you need support, people around you need help, and you will just find yourself in a position where you can actually make them very comfortable. You understand? So you might not necessarily need to be a boss, you don't necessarily need to be in a place of authority, but provided wherever you are, try and shine the light. Just share what you have.
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Really appreciate you. I want to appreciate everybody that joined. I won't be able to read all the names, but thank you so much. Everybody that joined, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We value you. You are of great importance to us. I know that you have other engagements and other things to do, but you still see it as, you know, you honored us and still came. Thank you all so much. You are so important. And thank you very much, Mr. Ricky. You said I should not call you Mr. Okay. Okay. Sir, I don't know how to say it. It's still Mr. Ricky that I will say. Sorry, sir. So thank you so much, Mr. Ricky. We really appreciate you. Thank you for the honor. Thank you for, you know, honoring the invitation. You have other engagements, but you still choose to be here. Thank you so much. So everybody, please,